Hey guys, Coach Sean here, and welcome to an episode of the Coach Sean Fitness Podcast. So, a lot has happened in a week since this last episode of the podcast, and yeah, we are a couple of hours as of recording this. It's Wednesday around 4 o'clock this stage as I'm recording, and we're a couple of hours away from lockdown part 2. All gyms in Ireland are closing tonight, all leisure centres, everything else, all closed, all gone. And yes, it is incredibly frustrating right now, but I suppose we just gotta have to adapt and move on and do what we can and focus on what we can do right now. And I'm level-headed enough now to say that. I'm not gonna lie. Monday I wasn't quite so level-headed when everything was coming out, and as it was getting leaked out throughout the rest of the day, it was fairly annoying. And it was coming apparent that the gyms were gonna close and we're gonna go back to exactly where we are in March. And you know, we can argue on how safe gyms are, how everyone's putting in protective measures, but the fact of the matter is that this is happening. They're getting locked down for the next couple of weeks, and we can either focus all our energy and being negative about that and just being annoyed and pissed off and frustrated. I've had my moments of that as well, but I think now it's time to clear head and go, right, let's do what we can with what we've got and move on from there. And let's focus on what you can do. So we're right back to the bodyweight training at home. A lot of us are doing Zoom workouts at home with our coaches and all the rest. And we can either have the attitude of, oh, here we go again, back to the Zoom, we're losing out on our weights and all the rest. Or we can have the attitude and to think of, have we mastered bodyweight training? Are you able to do full push-ups for X amount of reps with proper form? And a lot of people listening won't be able to if you're doing like complete proper form on these push-ups. It is very difficult, and split squats. Can you do like a certain amount of split squats without any weight and then finish it off with a hole at the end? Or how good is your single leg squat? And maybe it's setting goals around bodyweight training that's going to get us through these next 4 to 6 weeks. In terms of fitness, I'm talking about now, not everything else. In terms of fitness, and of course it is a fitness podcast we're doing here. So like, there's goals we can set with our training right now that focuses on moving more. And if we're able to move more, when we come back to the gym and do these exercises in the gym with weights and all the rest from there, we'll actually get a lot more from it. So what I've seen before in gyms is people progressing too fast. They come into the gym and they go straight to barbell reverse lunges for some reason. And I'm like, that person is struggling to do a reverse lunge properly, but they want to get all these gains by doing barbell reverse lunges. The same with squats. Barbell squats can drive me up the wall when I see people doing them, and you get into a bodyweight squat and you can't do it. And you may say, Sean, well, I could definitely do a bodyweight squat right or a barbell squat right. Well, how good is your single leg squat? And it's just trying to get better at different bodyweight things that we can work on right now, instead of just giving out and effing blind. I can't go to the gym, I can't do this exercise, can't do exercise. There are definitely exercises we could do to challenge us. If you do a bodyweight session right, there's definitely things you could do to challenge you. I'm messing around with split squat holds, even split squat jumps, throwing them in. I'm going just off the top of my head, doing a split squat for 10 on each leg. And for those that are listening going, Sean, you keep saying split squats. What's split squats again? If you can imagine a reverse lunge, but the feet just aren't moving, getting that back knee down and up and focusing that front leg entirely. I mean, if you did 10 slow reps of that, or even putting your back leg up on a bed and 10 slow reps in that, holding the last second, and then try and do single leg jumps with that, that is gonna be an absolute killer. Like that's gonna be rough. So, what we could do with the bodyweight training to keep ourselves on track with it is of starting from Monday. I know it's a bank holiday, but hey, what else are we going to be doing on Monday? Is set a couple of assessments for yourself, set a couple of goals, maybe go for 1 minute push-ups, see how many push-ups you can do in a minute, and then go, okay, over the next 6 weeks, my goal is to beat that. And it could be just, you can't do a full push-up right now. That's okay. Get a full proper push-up in with your hands elevated up on a couch or a chair. Try and hit your chest off that chair or couch, whatever it is, or the bed, and right back up. And then go, you know what, in 6 weeks, my goal is to be able to do a full push-up off the ground. It could be trying to get your first single leg squat. It could be just getting squats right and trying to get as many squats you can in a certain amount of time. You could go for box squats where the back of your knee is in line with a bed or a couch or something, and you have to hit off that and back up again to get proper form, so your first rep looks like your last, and set a time for 3 minutes. How many squats can you do in 3 minutes? And then with that, try and beat that over the next 6 weeks, or even doing a Tabata on push-ups or squats or different things like that, where you're 20 seconds on, 10 seconds off, counting how many you do in 4 minutes, building a program around that, and then trying to get more reps at the end of the 6 weeks, just giving yourself something to look forward to. And that's what I'm going to be trying to do, is just my own personal goals. And one of them is to try and drop body fat, because like all of us, during that first lockdown, I definitely put on a bit of weight. During that first month, I definitely had a few more beers and stuff like that, and it just turned into a nightly thing. I remember doing the online sessions, doing the boot camp and my Castknock boot camp, but doing it from here, doing it through Zoom. And afterwards, I didn't realize until I'd probably say a couple of weeks into it, geez, that's a long time. But you just go in, reach in for a fridge, grab a bottle of beer, and you're having a bottle of beer, watching whatever it was on TV, or when the Last Dance was on Netflix, which seemed like a long time ago. I had I'd have a couple of whiskeys, and a couple was quite a bit, and I'd watch the 2 episodes that were released every Monday, and I was like, ooh, this is a lot. I need to cut back in this. And I think we all did that, but a lot of us did that, where we just got comfortable with eating too much. And I don't think now is the right time to do a full diet. But I do think taking that 80-20 approach, where you're mindful eating 80% of the time, and that 20%, you're having whatever you want, really, and just finding that balance there. I think being too strict on yourself in nutrition right now, especially when we've no place to go out to show off our results, is going to be more mental stress than anything else. But picking and choosing your battles, if Friday evening you're having a couple of glasses of wine, I've never been against that to begin with, but now more than ever, having that, or supporting the local takeaway and getting some food wherever it is, and combine that with a bit of drink or whatever it is, setting your own personal goals, but having that balance. Like one of them, like I was saying, what there a second ago before I got sidetracked with the weight, was I was in the gym yesterday. I just happened to step in the scales for the first time I don't know how long, and I was like, ooh, how the hell did that number get high? And I was supposed to be running the marathon this weekend. I'm like, ooh, that's the high. Like, it was pure. I may as well be totally honest. It said 85.4, I think, kg, and I'm like, ooh, I've never hit 85 before. At my heaviest before would have been 83, 84, and then when I've done like my 6 week challenge, I drop down to 77 and just get a lot leaner. So when I seen 84, 85, like, geez, what have we been doing? Like, I have been moving and stuff. I have been training. I have been running. I was like, that is a lot. So I said, right, 6 weeks, my goal is to get my body weight down, get my body fat down more so. So I said, right, have to check a starting point. So in the gym I'm working with in ABC, we have the in-body analysis, in-body test. So I was like, right, I'm going in, I'm going to face the music, go in and check it out. And thankfully, I don't know if I just had way too much food yesterday morning to get myself through the session. When I went in, actually, I have the list right in front of me. It went down to, where is my... There's so much info in this. Yeah, it went down to 83 kilo. I don't know how it went from 85 to 83. I really don't, but it definitely said 85. Now, I was wearing runners and extra layers of clothes or whatever, but I didn't think that was an extra 2 kilo with the food I had, whatever. But I went in this morning and it was 83. And funny enough, according to this, I've always said this before, but now that I have it right in front of me, I hate BMI because of stuff like this. According to this, my BMI, I'm over on it. I'm 25.6. So 25 and under is normal. The normal range is 18.5 to 25. And I'm 25.6 in this. But my body fat percentage is well in the normal. It's at 13.3. Now, one of my goals is to get that down. They also give an in-body score. Mine says 91 out of 100 here. So basically, it just the score reflects the evaluation of body composition. A muscular person may be over 100. Not quite there yet. So my goal is in 6 weeks when I go back into the gym to have a higher number than that. Because I haven't really used this too much, I'm not too sure what that high number is. So I can't put a definite aim on that, which is a bit annoying for goals. So I always say I have a specific aim. But I want to get that number up, and obviously want to get my body fat percentage down a bit over these next 6 weeks. So that's the little goals and stuff I'm setting for myself. And I recommend the same for you guys. So I'm going to try and get my push-ups up over the next 6 weeks. I'm going to do a test on Monday, 1 minute. how many push-ups can I do, and let's try and get more push-ups over the next 6 weeks. And the same thing for you guys. Just try and set little goals, keep yourself going. And I was going to talk a little bit about trying to clear your head. I can only talk about personal experience because I'm not a psychologist or anything like that in this. So it's people talk about getting your walks in, and that helped me, I suppose, during the first lockdown. They say journaling, and I've tried journaling so many times, and I just haven't got around to getting a set routine on that. And I've mentioned a good few times in this podcast, meditation. There's great meditation apps out there, but I just can't get into it. I don't know why. I just get too fidgety. I stick with it for a day or two, and a week later I'm like, oh, damn it, I forgot about that damn meditation app. I just can't get the routine going, and that's on me. Maybe that might work for you. Maybe a diary or just writing down, journaling what you're thankful for, grateful for that day might work for you. I have tried it and I haven't been able to stick it out, so I can't totally say that. And that's one of the arguments we're coming up with on Twitter, which has been an absolute minefield this week. A lot of gyms are trying to stay open because they say that it's good for your mental health, and I can see it both ways. Like on Twitter, I've found in the past that the gym has helped me with my mental health. It hasn't been the sole reason, but it's helped me. It's helped me give confidence. It's helped me feel better on myself. But there's other factors and stuff to come in there. But the gym and stuff comes hand in hand. And I think what's happening now is, like, I've talked to different teachers, nurses and stuff, where they say their only outlet right now is the gym, and that's been taken away. And for a lot of people, their only outlet was the gym because, cinemas are closed. We can't go into restaurants and pubs and meet up with people, and all these other events are closed. We can't go to different gigs and all the rest. And, there's less and less reason to meet up with people. So I can see that argument there, and that's why there's a lot of should gyms stay or should they stay open or closed. But at the moment, it's like, okay, the gyms for the moment are gone. There's not really a whole lot we can do about that. So you gotta find community a different way. And if that is through online training, through different coaches, so be it. If that is just trying to keep yourself accountable and going back again to the push-up challenge, stuff like that, don't keep those numbers to yourself. Tell people. Now, I'm not saying do what I did and tell people your weight, you're 83 kilo as of what time this morning? 8:52 this morning. You're exactly 83 kilo. And I said, because I'm probably not now, because I had lunch and dinner and scales keep going up and down, just like we were 85 kilo yesterday for some reason. I'm not saying you have to be that specific, but even say, hey, look, my goal is to do push-ups. I want to do my push-ups, or my goal is to run a 5K. At the moment, I'm doing this. And so then next time we talk to that person on Zoom or a phone call, whatever it is, they're like, how you getting on that challenge? Like, shit, I got to keep accountable. I ran this day, and I'm building up towards that 5K. I'm actually able to do a 3K now in X amount of time, whatever it is, just to keep a bit of accountability and keep a bit of community going over these next 4 to 6 weeks. I feel it is very important. And speaking of running, which has really hit me hard this week, to be honest with you, I know it probably doesn't mean a lot for other people, and I've talked about looking forward to something. What kept me on track over these last 4 or 5 months was my plan to do the marathon this weekend. So I had a plan for the marathon, and it was going to be longer. I was going to break outside that 5K radius that's come in. So that's been a little bit annoying, and I don't even know what I'm going to do about it. So I'm not too sure why I brought it up there, but it's just, truth be told, I had a good initial plan. It was going to be outside that 5K radius. I had a point A to point B with it, and this week got taken away, which is a bit annoying. So to those listening that are doing the virtual marathon, I suppose, if you've any suggestions what you're going to do, I mean, doing 8, 9, 10 loops of one area is going to be pretty tough. Not that the marathon's not tough anyway, but keep bypassing your house over and over again. It's going to be incredibly tough. But I suppose there's some things we got to try and find a way around and try to do. I'm not too sure what the answer is on that one. And I better not rant anymore on it, because otherwise this podcast could get very negative. But my whole point on this podcast in whole is decisions get taken out of your hands, and it's how we adapt. We can sit and piss and moan about it, or we can do something productive about it. And thankfully, with like my boot camp and stuff, for example, we've been prepared for this. We've hoped it wouldn't come. We were prepared to. We've had our fitness app and stuff. I've just loaded up the truck with a load of different kettlebells. So my members have more kettlebells and stuff for the next 4 to 6 weeks. They already had resistance bands, so they're using them now. And we're going straight onto online training. I will never tell them it's the exact same as doing it in person in the group with the people they know around them for that extra bit of support and that extra bit of a buzz, the environment and all the rest, and a few cool tunes. But something we have to make do with and something we have to make the most of, and setting those goals as well for the next 4 to 6 weeks, should help out. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I don't know if you guys got anything at all from this podcast. Hopefully it just got you thinking about, a couple little goals, something to do with bodyweight training, different challenges. I think doing short 1-2 minute challenges for a certain bodyweight exercise can work. Maybe even wall sits, holding them for as long as you can, or split squat holds for as long as you can, and then try and build up on your endurance strength over there, because you're not going to build pure muscle. Well, it's going to be very hard to build pure muscle strength. You can do it, but it's going to be hard without having the weight switcher there. But going for endurance, trying to hold exercises longer, trying to go for more reps, I think that could be the goal for you over the next 4 to 6 weeks, or trying to get out there and slowly build up your run, slowly build up your the miles and the legs from there. Don't go straight from 0 to 5k. Don't compare your run to someone else's run, because we all got different starting points in our run. Just do you on that. Because the last thing I'll say in this podcast is, well, one of the last things, hopefully, is the first time round we had great weather, which meant a lot of people were out there running more. And I've seen, once again, I'm going to mention Twitter again, because it's drove me up the wall this week with that constant talking back and forth, mental health and gyms, whether it matters and doesn't and all that, and all the leaks and stuff. When it comes to running, some people that are against gyms being open are like, just go out and run. I think a lot of people did that in March and April. I think a lot of people got injured because they ran too fast. I've always said, even when we did a podcast before specifically on running, I always had that caveat with it. It was like, yes, I think running is great, and it's helped me clear my head a lot in runs, but I honestly believe you should combine it with some form of strength training, and whether that's bodyweight training or in the gym, I honestly believe they go hand in hand, to strengthen the legs, because if you put too many miles on the legs straight away, it's going to lead to injury. And a lot of people can attest. You probably know someone who went out, did too many runs and pulled a hamstring, or had a stress fracture in their shins, and these are things I've actually heard that have happened to people. So be careful with the runs, build up slowly into them, and try and do a little bit of strength training with it. And stay off Twitter. Stay off Twitter. I know I don't even promote my Twitter on podcasts or social media, because it's usually just talking to the 49ers, and that can be an absolute minefield as well every time we lose. So it's just full of negativity right now. Stay up to date with the news and all the rest, but try not to go constantly into it all the time. That's what I'm trying to do. I'm failing it with that, because I'm constantly checking on. I suppose saying this out loud is a reminder to myself, hey Sean, stop it. So if you guys didn't get something from this, I got something from this, because I've mentioned it a few times. Stay off Twitter, or just go on for like once, twice a day. Try and limit how much you're on social media, because it's a lot of negativity, and that's just going to affect how you feel about things. Clear the head, try and get a bit of training in, set goals for yourself the next 4 to 6 weeks. Best of luck with setting those goals. And if you are stuck for any sort of training plan, or you're unsure what you want to do, or you've got a specific goal, you're unsure how you're going to do it, please DM me on Sean at coach. No, that's my email. On at coach_Sean C, and I'll try and help you out any way I can to help you get your goals now. So hit me up on DM with that one. And yeah, that's pretty much it, guys, because that truck is loaded. I gotta get this podcast up online, and a video with it up on YouTube as well, my YouTube channel on Coach Sean, www.youtube.com/Coach Sean. I gotta get it up there as well in time before I head out to Castleknock for one last time for our session tonight. And of course, no burpees, because the 49ers got the job done, beat the LA Rams on Sunday night. So that is one thing to be happy about. And Villa are 4 wins in a row. We beat Leicester there the weekend. So the only undefeated team left, the only team that hasn't lost, or has a 100% record, I should say. The only team out of like 155 English teams out of 5 leagues that has a 100% record, 4 wins, 0 losses, 0 draws, and 3 clean sheets, I think. The mighty Aston Villa. There's 2 positives to end this episode of the Coach on Fitness podcast, guys. Thank you very much for listening. Take care. That wasn't a hard video to get through now, was it? I hope you guys got some value out of the video. If you did, please leave a thumbs up and subscribe to the Coach Sean channel, which is somewhere here. And hit that button, subscribe to the Coach Sean channel, leave a thumbs up. There should be a couple of other videos around here for you guys to check out. And that's all from me, from Coach Sean. Take care.